Thank you for coming, Bridget. It's good to have you here today. If it's all right with you, I'm just going to go ahead and begin. You have a man here who is showing himself to me. He looks to me like he's age-wise, I'm going to say mid to late 60s. He's coming through as a medium build, so not thin, not heavy, but a little bit on the stocky side. He has a sense of humor, because as I'm saying stocky, he says, "Don't call me fat."
He's not
I can hear his voice.
Yes, that's him.
And he's got salt pepper hair,
That's my husband.
lighter complected. And I asked him, "How do you pass over?" And he says, "Cardiac arrest." So did your husband pass from cardiac arrest?
That's correct.
Okay. He says to me that he brought also with him another great man who you have a lot of respect for, which is your father.
Hi, Daddy.
He said, "Your dad has been gone a long time, very well respected man.
Yes,
A lot of people really appreciated him, and he
Yes.
accomplished a lot in this lifetime."
he did.
Now, I'm being shown also a level of government with him.
Yes, he did.
So what exactly is that?
First government was Luftwaffe because he was a pilot, which is government. And
Uh-huh.
then he went to the police department after the war and retired as a police chief, also government. It's government over there, all government.
And if I may interrupt you, your husband says even higher.
Yes, he was really well. I
So he's done a lot of
translated.
stuff.
Like, see, I translate as police chief by my husband. I was saying it's like police commissioner.
Okay.
You know, so
Your father's a very proud man.
he is.
Now, your father's speaking to you. He loves you so much. He says you're a lot like him. He's very proud of you. He says to me that you have been thinking a lot about passing away.
Yep.
And he wants you to know, with your husband's voice, I hear both of them saying, "It's not your time yet."
Thank you.
They're saying to me that you did come close to passing
Yes.
away.
I did very
Your
close.
husband is saying that you've had a heart problem.
Yes.
He says, I hear his voice saying that your heart hasn't been functioning right.
Yep.
And he says to me, clotted artery, so there's
Yep.
been a problem with that too?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I know. I know. Got the call today. I got to go to the hospital within the next 4 weeks and have it done again.
What are they going to do?
Angiogram, maybe angioplasty again, maybe stent, depending on. I had a stress test and turned out to be not too good.
Okay.
So my cardiologist said yes.
You make sure you go. Don't delay on this. Your husband says that when you go in for the angiogram, he'll be right there holding your hand. He'll be right there. He says you're scared.
Yes.
Now he says you haven't told your children.
No, not yet. Not yet.
One of them, he says it's a girl, a daughter.
Yep.
Please, you need to talk to her about
Okay.
this. He says you're such a strong woman. You don't want to upset anybody. You don't want to
that's
worry
true,
them. He
yes,
says,
and-
but you need to.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now he says to me, your husband does, that you've been talking about Europe, going to Europe.
Yes, I have been.
Yeah. He says that, now your dad's jumping in and says, as she's talked about Europe, she wants to go, but you've been hesitant, feeling like you're not going to be able to go.
Exactly.
And they both want you to know that you will, in fact, get there.
Okay, because I was
Okay.
worried about my health. And now if I get it behind me and the cardiologist will give me a green light, and by the fall I will go.
Yeah, you'll get to go.
Yeah.
You will. Now, your husband is saying to me that there's been a lot of turmoil with family.
Yes.
And this is around a boy, around a son?
Mm-hmm.
Now, he says you have 2 sons.
Yes.
Is this correct?
Yes.
That son is completely different from
Yeah,
Johnny.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, your husband says that they're just complete opposites
Yes,
of one another.
yes. There was a girlfriend which Victoria, I think the ink hasn't even dried on the divorce. And the second thing is he just had, day before yesterday, mild heart attack.
Man,
And
you've got a lot going on.
yes, yes they are.
Now, your husband is saying to me cotton balls, that you had pulled cotton balls out and to use them, and he's pointing to the ear.
Mm-hmm.
You were using cotton balls
Yes.
on your ear.
Yeah, because I by mistake ripped my ear, what do you call my earring right away out.
He says that you were going through your jewelry and you were trying to find an earring to match the one that you couldn't pair them up.
That's right.
He was right there with you.
Got it again.
And he says to tell you that the knob on the cupboard, it looks like a dresser, is loose. And you were trying to tighten that. So he was right there with you. He knows about this.
Oh my goodness.
Now he's saying his tools. You still have his tools?
Yes.
He said his toolbox, you opened that recently. Yes?
Yes.
I see you observing, looking at his tools or toolbox.
Yes.
Your husband says to tell you, you're not a selfish woman. You've got the biggest heart of anybody he's ever known.
Thank you.
So when they have their hands out, feel free to slap the hands.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Okay.
All right?
Steve said, Mom, he says, please do me a favor. Take your money, spend it all, so there's nothing left over, so there'll be no fights. Because I know
she's right.
Yeah.
She's absolutely right.
She has her head on her right shoulder.
Yes, she does. She's a good girl. Your husband said to tell you happy birthday.
Thank you.
He's handing you one rose.
Thank you, always did.
Did he?
Yes, yes, that's so.
He says to tell you some things don't change,
Okay.
and that never will.